Everybody, Miss Imrie here again with your second Cambridge Econ assignment for this week. This assignment is due on Friday, May 1st. It is available on the Google Drive for you. And if you can't stop into Zoom and you need a refresher, the YouTube link is also here for you. This is our very last part of our business plan. So we are going to be all set and ready to go after we are done with this part. This part, in my opinion, is the most real world numbers based application of our business ideas in our Shark Tank project because you are going to be thinking about your financial plan. I've broken this down for you into step-by-step directions with how we're going to put everything together so that by the end of your assignment, you will be able to decide how much money you're going to ask for from the sharks, what percent of your company you're going to give up, and why that's a good idea. So let's start from the beginning. We're going to build out our financial plan first by thinking about our cost of goods sold. So cost of goods sold, all we're talking about here is how much it's going to cost to produce our products, right? What is it going to cost me as a company in order to create whatever this product is? So some things you need to think about, you're going to need to make an itemized list of all of the things and the ideas that go into your product, and then a cost estimate. But we want to make sure we are only giving the cost for one unit of our product or service. So the example that's on the assignment for you says if I'm doing an ice cream business, I know I'm going to need milk, sugar, and ice cream cones to make my ice cream, right? To sell just one ice cream cone, I might estimate that milk costs me 10 cents for that one cone. I'm not going to say it's $2 for the gallon of ice cream. I'm going to say it's 10 cents for that one ice cream cone. So for my business, I know to make one coffee mug planter kit, I'm going to need a coffee mug. I'm going to need soil. I'm going to need seeds and maybe a little like mini garden hoe. I also know that I'm going to need packaging in order to put all these things together. Okay, if you need more items, feel free to add more. If you don't need to fill out all these sections, that's fine too. So my coffee mugs, I know I want to get them reused, so I'm either getting them from Goodwill or I'm getting them donated. So let's say every coffee mug is going to cost me, on average, it's going to cost me 50 cents. My soil, again, for one planter kit, I know I can get a giant bag for under $10. So maybe it's going to cost me again about 50 cents in order to put this soil together. Seeds, a couple seeds, like literally probably 10 cents when it all is said and done. The mini gardening hoe won't actually be anything crazy. It might even just be like a plastic spoon. So I'm going to say about 50 cents. And my packaging to like put it all together in some sort of pretty situation, maybe I say just for like estimate purposes, it's $1. You might need to do some research into these things. Your best guesses and estimates are fine with me as well. Obviously, if we were actually going to execute our businesses and start them, it'd be really important that we had these items well researched and down to a T, but estimates are fine for now. So my final cost of my product to produce one unit, I'm at $1.50, $2, $2.60. So $2.60. Now that's to produce one of my units, okay? So we've got our cost of goods sold. Now I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my gross income. My gross income is the same thing as my total revenue. The revenue is how much money I'm going to make in a year. So how much money am I bringing into my company? So the first thing I want to think about is how many items, how many of these kits do I think I can sell in a year? So let's break this down. If I think about selling, let's say I sell 10 of these kits a week. I'm going to sell 10 kits a week, which is going to be 40 kits a month, which means I can sell 40 times 12 is going to give me 480, I think I did that math right, kits or goods per year. Okay, so all I'm doing here is I'm filling in the blank, and I'll go ahead and I'm going to pick a different color to highlight these in for us. I'm actually going to bump this up a little bit. I think I'm going to feel ambitious and say I can sell 15 kits a month, which is going to change my number. So let's highlight this so we can see it. So 15 kits per week, 15, 30, 45, which is going to be 60 kits per month. This is also staying with that SMART goal that I set for myself back in business plan part 2, where I wanted to get to at least 50. So this would bring that to be a true situation. And then I'm looking at my yearly number, which is obviously going to change. I'm thinking about my number per month, which is 60 times 12 months in a year, which is going to get me to 720 units per year. Okay, again, I'll highlight that so we can see it. Now, the most important part that we want to think about, how much are we going to charge customers for our product or service? So I know it's going to cost me $2.60, but I don't want to charge people $2.60 or I don't make any profit. So I want to think about like equivalent planter kits, other kind of gardening materials, things that are realistic for people, cost of herbs, etc. I'm going to just start off and say $10. Because that's going to mean I am $2.50, $5. I am like essentially making 3 times the amount of profit that it's going to cost me here. Okay. I chose this price. I would give my explanation, thinking about other items that are similar, realistic prices that people would be willing to pay for these kind of goods. Maybe as I'm going through, I change my mind and I up this price. Okay. But my gross income now, how much money I'm going to make in the year, is going to be that $10, my cost, $10 times my total number of products that I'm going to sell, which for me, $10 times that 720 is only going to mean that I'm making about $7,000 a year on this company. Okay. So as I go through and I think about all of these different elements, I might want to change my prices. I might up my ante here, right? Maybe I am expecting to sell 30 goods a week, right? I might change things as I go, okay? But I'm going to keep this as it is. If you're not in like double digits, if you're not in like the 20, 30, 40,000, you might want to think about changing your price that you're asking. So what are you looking for? Or kind of changing and upping your estimates for how many goods that you want to make per week. So mine's kind of small. We're going to roll with it just for the purpose of what we're doing here. Okay. So I have my cost, I have my number of goods taken care of. Now I need to think about my net income. So if I'm bringing in $7,200 for my company, I need to think about how much I'm actually going to be able to keep and take away after I pay for all of my goods. So if I know some expenses that I need to think about, and this is where you might need to pull out that calculator, I've got mine out. I need to think of the cost of my product, which I said was $2.60, times I said I was making 720 of them, which for me is going to amount to $1,872. Advertising costs, based on kind of what I planned the other day, I'm going to say it's going to cost me about $1,000 to advertise. Miscellaneous supplies, anything that I might need that's not included. I think I covered everything in my packaging. In supply fashion, I guess the only other thing that I'm going to need is shipping costs. So I'm going to say it's going to cost maybe about $1,000 for shipping. In order maybe for me to take that off, I might cover the cost of that shipping in what customers ask. So maybe I don't do free shipping if I charge $1,000, but if I say $0, that means that the customers are paying for shipping, so I don't have to worry about that. Am I going to pay myself? I'm going to say to start off, I'm not going to pay myself, or maybe I'm going to pay myself. I'm going to just take like a very measly $1,000 salary from this business to start off. I'm going to treat it more as a hobby business until it grows further. My business is not going to rent out of a shop because, or like a storage facility. I'm going to start it off um, in a smaller, just like in-home, me and friends putting these things together. But if you are thinking about producing more than these like 15 kind of products per week, you're going to need some sort of rental place and facility to put those things together. Utilities, I don't have to worry about because I'm not renting. Am I doing any travel or transportation? Not specifically for my business. So I should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and add up my expenses, and I'm going to have a total of then $3,872 that my company is spending every year. This expenses number needs to be smaller than your gross income number. If you are not making more money than you are spending, you need to make some adjustments, okay? So our net income, we're going to take that 7,200 and we're going to subtract our 3,872 and we are going to end up with, I'm going to pull out that calculator, again, 7,200 minus 3,872 is going to leave me with a grand total of $3,328 that my company is going to make gross income. Okay. Last piece, how much am I going to ask for from the sharks? This number should definitely not be bigger than our gross income for sure, but also probably shouldn't be much bigger than our net income. So maybe I'm going to ask for I'm going to ask for $5,000 from the sharks. And I'm going to use that money to increase my advertising funds so I can up my customer base and then be able to increase my number of sales. Okay. How much equity am I going to give up? So if I'm going to ask for $5,000 from them, I see, maybe I even drop that down a little bit. $2,500, or let's just say 2,000, make it nice and small. I'm going to give them 20% of my business, which they might have an issue with because $2,000 is definitely more than 20% of my net income. But I'm going to give them 20%. That's my offer. And because of that, I can go ahead and share with them how quickly they would earn that $2,000 back. So I know that my company, let's actually keep it with 5,000 here. My company makes $3,328 a year. Oops. I'm sorry, y'all. We're going to keep jumping back and forth. We'll keep it at 25. My company makes $3,328 a year. So what I'm going to do to calculate is I'm going to take that 3,328 and I'm going to multiply it by that percent equity that I said I was going to give them. So I did 3,328 times 0.2 and I got $667, which means it's going to take them, they gave me 2,000 divided by 667. It's going to take them 3 years to earn their money back. So they're going to earn every single year $667 off of my company, and it'll take them 3 years to earn their money back. Okay, so this is the process that you're going to go through to think about your finances for your company and kind of how that works, how you fill it out. I will put this example and business plan example number 2 up on the Google Drive as well, so you have them to reference for yourself. But please, please, please stop into Zoom and let me know what questions you have so that I can help make sure this is really good and accurate and so that you're ready to do your pitches next week. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. I'm looking forward to seeing all of your work.